Hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And an impactful card. I did some coloring on a 3D embossed image with my OLO markers and then stepped it up a bit. Splatter, of course, all the things. So, everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps. Keeps the lights on, pays the bills, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making this card. So this is the Curvy Blossom 3D embossing folder. And with the Simon Says Stamp brand 3D embossing folders, to use them in my Anagraph and Empress machine, I use one cutting plate in the folder. Rarely have to use anything else. That's what works for me. So I embossed this onto Neenah Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock. And I'm going to use my OLO markers to color this in. I've shown this many times over the years, coloring 3D embossed images with alcohol markers. And I really like doing it on Desert Storm cardstock. I don't know, there's just something about like the craft cardstock base, and it feels a little less intimidating than coloring on white cardstock. It just feels a little more forgiving. Honestly, whether that's true or not, that's just how my brain perceives it, and it works. Because it can be very, especially like something this big, it can be a little intimidating, a little overwhelming, but I do also enjoy it. So this first little bit is real time. You know, I do not color. I can't move as fast as it's going to speed up here because I did take my time with this. It took me about an hour, roughly, something like that, to color in this entire image. And yeah, I went with my usual method, which is just darkest to lightest. It's just a convenience thing. The other thing to mention, if you are newer to my videos, with the OLO markers, they're technically half markers. However, the amount of ink in them is the equivalent of like 2 to even 3 other brand alcohol markers. And they do come with connectors. So you can connect 2 markers together for one normal sized marker. I choose not to do that because I like to see all my colors at a glance, and coloring with them like this does not bother me. Weirdly, it doesn't bother me because I've talked about this a lot over the years. I have like hand and wrist issues, like borderline carpal tunnel. And yeah, it, as weird as it looks on camera, coloring like this, it just works for me. So just FYI on that. And yeah, alcohol markers just in general, love, been using them for a million years. And coloring things like die cuts and embossed images and stuff, it's just fun. So I just kept working my way around, coloring all of the different areas, and fairly limited color selection because it's just one large bloom, stamens, and then the greenery. And I could have just colored it and then moved on, like colored it with the OLO markers, but I couldn't help myself. And I was like, it needs a little more definition. It felt lacking to me a little bit. So I pulled out a couple of Prismacolor pencils, like just color pencils, to add the shading. Specifically, I just use a black and then I'll use a white. And I didn't film all of the adding the black. I filmed just a little bit of it. I used a very, very light hand and just added it wherever I felt it was necessary, and to create more definition, like between the petals and all the different little parts and things. And this ended up working for me. I was kind of, at first, I was like, this might have been a bad idea, because again, I don't do this very often anymore. Especially with color pencils. I don't work with color pencils much anymore, not because they're not great. I'm never going to get rid of them because they're not going to go bad, but the hand and wrist issues. I used them many years ago. That's all I used. Before alcohol markers, all the things. Coloring with color pencils, that was my jam. I loved it, but over the years, it started to hurt more and more. So I stopped doing it, but they still come in handy, specifically the black and the white ones. Because yeah, the black, I added just that shading and depth. And then I went in with just the white pencil because I didn't want to use a white gel pen. I didn't want the harsh lines of a gel pen. So white Prismacolor pencil and just added little highlights. And I'm glad I did this. It really just amped up this image. And yeah, I was very happy with how everything turned out. And then my final little extra level of amping it up is I used one more OLO marker, specifically one of the red gray shades, RG3, and added a bit of like a drop shadow, just coloring along sort of the outside of the actual embossing, just to get a little extra something. And also very happy about that. Sometimes it's things that I'll think of like way after the fact, and then, it's too late, everything's done. But for whatever reason, my brain was kind of working this day. So anyway, added that little bit of a drop shadow, and it just made me happy. Once I was done with that, we're gonna make this into a finished card. So I die cut some dull pink cardstock with the largest of the Postage rectangles wafer dies. And then my color panel here, I trimmed it down a bit. It was originally about A2 size, and I trimmed it down to about 4 by 5 1/4 so that the Postage panel can, frame it up nice. And I felt like it was just lacking. The image itself, fine, but just it felt unfinished. So I pulled out a couple shades of Positively Saturated ink, specifically FAWN is what I started with here, and a blending brush, and just blending that around the perimeter. So then it kind of makes the image pop out even more by sort of recessing those edges. And then I intensified it a bit by going a shade darker, which is Cozy, because these will lighten up a little bit, just a smidge, as they fully dry. So I blended that in to the perimeter, and I was much happier with that. And then as is tradition over here, I'm going to add splatter, because that's what I like to do. And if you don't like splatter, the wonderful thing is you don't have to do it. Because for whatever reason, me adding splatter to cards gets some people really upset. But again, it's card making. You can do what you want and what appeals to you. That's literally the beauty of it. And I like splatter. So, Positively Perfect white splatter. Stirred it up real well. Added a decent amount with the white using my fan brush. And then with the black splatter, same thing. Stirred it up really well. And I'm not going to add near as much. I just want just a little bit of black splatter here and there. But again, nothing crazy. And for me, this is very demure. Very demure splatter. So, did my little bit of splatter, set that aside to fully dry. Card base is a top folding A2 white note card, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And on the inside, I'm stamping a sentiment from the CZ Design Bereavement Thank You set. This is a really good set. Another one of those ones that has sentiments that you can't really find anywhere else. And I really like that. So I've used it in multiple videos now, but I just use the more just sort of generic, appreciative thank you sentiments from the set. So after stamping that on the inside of the card with Nocturne ink, I added some baker's twine, some doodle twine to my panel, using my reverse tweezers, hold the knot, made my bow, pulled it tight, trimmed off the tails. And then I glued this to the postage edge, like the postage rectangle die cut there, with liquid glue. And then I'll glue this to my card base. And then off camera, I had stamped the I appreciate you sentiment from that Bereavement Thank You set. I had stamped it onto a scrap of the Desert Storm cardstock with the Nocturne ink. And then I die cut it with the coordinating wafer die. And then I die cut a couple more scraps with that die. Adhere those together to give this a little bit extra dimension. And then I'll glue this to my card. And then I just got to let the glue dry, and this card is complete. I decided no other embellishments. I was like, oh, butterfly wafer dye, all the things. But I was like, no. The flower is the star of the show with this. I am not adding anything else. And yeah, there is my finished card. I wish I could, it's hard. You can kind of see that, the actual 3D embossing because it is raised, but hard to show on camera, but it's there, which also just adds to everything, the actual physical, dimension of it all. So, like I mentioned in the intro, links to all the things are in the description box below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, thumbs upping, commenting. It does help. I do appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!